vampires.com.
Well, like Charlie Brown and Another Halloween Has Come and Gone, I just got done with passing out trick-or-treaters some candy. Now that November's finally here, you know what that means. It means Thanksgiving's on the way. I'm having turkey, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, green beans, corn, sweet potatoes, and some pumpkin and chocolate pies. But I'm kind of getting off topic. Let me tell you what happened so far. A few weeks ago, I read Region of the Vampire Hedgehog. I got into contact with Brandon about how he managed to get the hold of the comic. And he told me that Alexander McFarlane sent him a download file containing the entire Vampire Hedgehog saga, including the first one, Rise of the Vampire Hedgehog. He also stated that Mr. McFarlane was a fanatic for both Sonic the Hedgehog and Dracula, which is kind of why he made the saga as a way to show his love for the two franchises. I got two more issues to read of this vampire propaganda, so I decided to grow a backbone and continue to read the series. The third issue is Sonic IDW Issue 33, Sedge of the Vampire Hedgehog. The front of the cover had Espio the Chameleon, Shadow the Hedgehog, Rouge the Bat, Whisper the Wolf, Tangle the Lemur, and Vanilla the Rabbit armed themselves with guns, and they looked similar to paintball guns. They were shooting off some sort of white stuff at the vampires that almost looked like vanilla milkshakes. As I began to feel the excitement of this issue before I could read it. It started with the Whisper the Wolf telling Espio the Chameleon about the Vambots. The Vambots were built by Dr. Eggman, she explained. He plotted to unleash the most dangerous robots to take over the world. They were designed to look like vampires as well as drink the venom victim's blood. Here, let me show you. She gave him her mask. This video in my mask in the network, I snuck into Eggman's base and they're detected and recorded the whole thing. SBO had it put it on the wolf's milkshake. He saw Dr. Eggman with Dr. Starline, Orbit, and Cubit of the base. The doctor was about to reveal his latest project that had been covered by a sheet. Gentlemen, I present to you my latest invention, he announced. He had removed the sheet from a robot, and it was a Vambot that made his appearance in the previous issue. Yeek! Cubot's shriek. That's scary. What is it, Doctor? Orbot asked. I'm glad you asked. My fine minions, Dr. Eggman said. This is my Vambot. He may look like a robot dressed as a vampire, but he is actually a vampire. Dr. Starline began to examine the robot. What does it do? He asked. Can he drink the victim's blood, whether it be an anthropomorphic animal or a human? Eggman answered. He can also transform into a bat when necessary. He took out a small rabbit. Here's an example. The Zomba took a rabbit from the doctor's hand and was about to suck its blood. The comic didn't show the poor helpless creature getting its blood sucked, thankfully. Espio's face was turned into a pale, like if she has just seen or witnessed a ghost or a crime scene. His speech bubble rather looked very shaky, and due to his nervousness, I can't believe it, he began. Why? Why did Eggman do this? The mental illness didn't stop us, Whisper stated. So he was going for the big guns. We're almost at Restoration HQ, Rouge announced. We're roughly 2 miles away until we get there. Perfect. I have a plan, Shadow said. Espio asked, what are you talking about? We'll explain once we get to Restoration HQ, the ultimate life form answered. Once they got there, Shadow asked Espio and Whisper to come with him to the kitchen. They were greeted by Tangle the lemur, Vanilla the rabbit, Cream's mother. Tangle was actually really happy to see Whisper again. Hey, Whisper, I'm so happy you're here, she said. She hugged the wolf, but remembered she had perfected personal space. Oops, my bad. Whisper gave Tangle a hug. It's okay, Tangle, she said. I'm kinda used to it anyway. I was surprised that Whisper was more social. She wasn't like this in the earlier issues. Anyway, Vanilla told the rest of the gang that they were making garlic milkshakes. Recently, Shadow has began reading some novels about vampires, she said. One time I learned that vampires are allergic to garlic, Shadow added, which is why they stay away from such smelly vegetables, Tangle said, holding her nose in the process. Tangle, please, Vanilla said, shaking her head. Sorry, Miss Vanilla, Tangle said. Espio walked to the blender where the garlic milkshakes were being made. What are we going to do with these garlic milkshakes? He asked. We're going to load these suckers into the guns and bring those vampires down, Tangle answered. With that being said, someone crept up behind the gang, and everyone turned around to see the golden eyes in the shadows. As someone emerged from the shadows, The figure was Silver the hedgehog as a vampire. Whisper grabbed one of the garlic milkshakes filled guns and opened fire at the physical vampire. When the milkshake entered his mouth, Silver gulped his throat, gagging and coughing. A dark reddish smoke appeared and enveloped him, turning him back to normal. Now laying on the ground and gasping for air, Silver rubbed his neck. What happened? He groaned. Long story, Whisper said. Are you okay? Yeah, I think so, Silver said. I feel like I got a crick on my neck. Shadow walked up towards him. Do you remember what happened before you were turned into a vampire? He asked. Well, I remember getting a glass of water from the kitchen, Silver said. But then someone grabbed me from behind and it looked like a robot wearing a vampire costume. That's a zombot. Or a vambot, whatever it is, SBO stated. Silver took a look at the chameleon with confusion. Dr. Eggman created those vampire-like robots as a way to take over the world, Whisper said. Oh crap, Silver exclaimed. I wanted to make the moment to say that one thing. I found Silver saying crap pretty funny. The first time he said that was in Sonic IDW Issue 8. Anyway, Silver began to panic. However, Shadow managed to calm him down. Try not to worry, Silver, he said, putting a hand on his shoulder. We'll get the rest of our friends back, I guarantee it. At that point, a huge melodic door was about to burst open. Everyone was worried that it might either be a zombot or the vampires. The door wasn't going to hold out much longer, Rouge pointed out. What should we do? SBO asked. By this time, every gun was loaded with milkshakes. Grab yourself a milkshake gun and let's get to work, Shadow said. As soon as the door opened, the victims who were turned to vampires were one of them resembled Blaze the cat, who tried to lunge at Silver, but he managed to shoot the garlic milkshake into her mouth. She tasted the garlic and then coughed and gagged, the same with the dark reddish smoke that appeared and enveloped her. Thus Blaze was back to normal. Blaze, are you okay? Silver asked. Despite the crick on the neck, I'm okay, Blaze said, rubbing her neck. Thank you, Silver. She took Silver's hand and smiled at him. Seeing that Blaze had turned back to normal, Tango grabbed another milkshake gun. Blaze, catch! Blaze caught the same gun tossed by the lemur. And as she did so, she saw a beetle-like vampire and shot the milkshake at it. She transferred back to normal after swallowing it. Her name was Jewel the Beetle. Jewel, Tango said. She hurried over to her best friend to check up on her. Jewel, are you okay? She asked. Yeah, I'm okay, Jewel said, rubbing her neck. Then she heard a hug. Jewel then noticed that the lemur, her bestie, was crying a bit. Tangle, why are you crying? She asked. No, Tangle said, a little wiping her eyes. I'm just so happy to have you back. Within the matter of minutes, every victim was back to normal, thanks to the garlic milkshakes. With those milkshakes, Vanilla was making more garlic milkshakes. Where those Tangle did these frosties with the drinks and the guns. Whispered said, it seems like your theory was right. Shadow, once the vampires get a taste of this, they'll transform back into whoever he or she was before. Perfect, said Shadow. Now I better get ready for a long fight of this once more, the vambots. I agree, Rouge stated, and once we were done saving the victims, we'll be having a doctor do a piece of his own medicine, and maybe I can have my teammates back, SBO said. As well as my daughter and her child friend, Vanilla added. Everyone once nodded their heads in agreement before heading out of Restoration HQ. This was the ending then to the third issue. Surprisingly enough, I was starting to really get amazed at this point. It was a blessing to see Silver, Blaze, and Jewel being free from the vampires. I was liking the vambots a whole lot better than the zombots. I get it that the saga was banned from IDW Publishing due to its dark nature, but seeing the vambots were turning everyone most into vampires was very creative. I contacted Brandon about the third issue on how I enjoyed the saga so far, and he told me that there was going to be another weapons that Rouge, Shadow, Whisper, SBO, Tangle, and Vanilla were going to use. They were going to be a cross and a Bible, but these were meant to make these vambots grow weak. However, they were cut due to the fact that the Sonic Hedgehog franchise is not strict when it comes to a religion. He also stated that they were also going to use a stake to drive through their hearts, but it was because there was already enough blood as it is. As much as I really want to know more about the Vampire Hedgehog saga, I have a lot of schoolwork to do. Besides, I have to get ready for the finals before my final semester is complete. But my hopes and prayers go to Shadow, Rouge, SBO, Whisper, Tangle, Vanilla, Silver, Blaze, and Jewel for fighting off more of the zombots with no problem. I hope SBO will be able to get his teammates back. Most of all, I sincerely hope that Sonic and his friends will return back to normal. And that, my little pretties, was Sonic the Hedgehog IDW Issue 33, Sage of the Vampire Hedgehog, a Sonic the Hedgehog Lost comic creepypasta written by Bailey Maloney. Thank you so much, Bailey Maloney, for the story, and due to the fact that this is like an edited version, I read the original one a while ago, probably last year sometime. I can't honestly remember what date, but I could definitely say that she fixed up the grammar and stuff like that, which is good. And yeah, I want to thank you so much, Bailey, for the story. Now, before I get started with the review, I want to say right now that I was going to read one of Matthew Bumford's stories. And I remember in my last live stream, I think he said that he had what is it? Oh yeah, he said he was going to leave a link to the recent story, and I still haven't got it for some reason. So, Matthew Bumford, if you're watching this, if you would like to put your story, the link that you wanted to send me in the description down below, I'll be more happy to do that. And it'd be much pleasurable to do that as well. Okay. Now I'm going to get back to the story. I like this story. This story was actually really good. Like the fact that, it's not cliche. Well, I can definitely excuse the blood. Like, here's the thing, people. I do not mind blood used in cliches or I don't mind blood being used in a creepypasta, even though it might not consider a cliche. Like, well, hyper-realistic gore is actually a cliche thing. Oh my goodness. Well, I don't understand why people still focus on that, when it comes to writing creepypastas. I don't know why that's the case, but it is to me. At least to me that is. Okay. Now, the concept itself was actually really interesting, which is pretty cool if you ask me, which I can definitely, assure you that it's actually, pretty good if you so to speak. Now, I could definitely say right now that this concept was actually pretty cool. I like the concept itself to be rather cool and nice. And I definitely would have to say that the story was actually really awesome. Like the storyline of how the episode went out, the grammar, everything about it was just good. And I could definitely say that the sentence structuring and the paragraph structuring was just excellent. Like, I really do like this story, Bailey. This, even though you fixed up the grammar and stuff like that, it's still really amazing. Like, you could write very good stories like this, and this story was just amazing. Like, I could definitely say that this story actually did a pretty good job. Is there anything negative I have to say about this story? No. I don't have anything negative to say about this story. I actually found this story to be quite good. I like the concept itself to be rather nice. I like the storyline of how, and the flow of how the episode went out. Like, it's really that good. Like, I could really say, Bailey, if you're going to make another Sonic creepypasta, I highly recommend you do so. Because, it is really cool. Like, what you're doing, it's really cool. Okay. I think I had, kind of spoke enough about, the story. This is pretty much, even though this pasta was a bit long, I'm making this as a short review. Now, I honestly think that this episode Lost Comic did a pretty good job. It's not cliched like any other creepypasta you see, with cliches that focus on blood and gore, because, I'm gonna be honest, I don't understand why most creepypastas now these days, focus on cliche crap and that. That is actually, something I can definitely say. It's a good plus that I can really say that this one did pretty good. Now, is there anything negative I have to say? No. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I honestly found this pasta to be quite good. Now, I could definitely say that you did a pretty good job, Bailey. I highly recommend you, write more of these stories. And yeah, before I wrap up the review, if Matthew Bumford is here, I would like him to send, a link in this video on this video about, his new creepypasta, or funny pasta for that matter, and I'll take a look at them. Okay, like I'm going to say right now, this is simply my own personal opinion, and if you disagree with me, that's fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions regards to these creepypastas, and this is simply my own personal thoughts. My final rating of this story would have to be a 10 out of 10. It's a great concept, great everything, great grammar. Everything about it was just top-notch beautifully. Now, Bailey, I highly recommend you keep up the good work with your stories, and you're going to be just as good as anyone can honestly be. Now, anyways, what did you all think about this creepypasta? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Also, what would you have done personally to help make this story a lot better? Leave me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. I'm the Shadow Lioness. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. And if you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I make brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you will all get notified to my new uploads. And yeah, and like always, please roll the outro because I'm out of here and see you all next time.
Why, hello there, my little pretties. It's me, the Shadow Lioness. I hope you all enjoy my video of creepypasta. So, without further ado, if you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you want to survive my cave of terror, please hit the subscribe button down below. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Donate to my Patreon when you can. And the only way you're going to survive me in the cave is you're going to have to sub to me and press the bell for notifications so you'll get to know when I upload. Well, without further ado, my little pretties, I'll see you in the next video.